Okay, so I gave you 13 to 20, okay? So I presume you all found them hard? Yeah, okay. So I will do them. Right, just do we need 13 done? Number 13? Yes, no? Anyone for 13? No. 14? Yeah. Okay. So 14, the diagram on the right shows a sphere of radius 7, right, that fits exactly into a cylinder, okay? So I'm just going to draw, right, kind of the front of it, okay? So basically it fits exactly in, so the box is exactly around the sphere. So that's just a cross section, okay? I'm not drawing three-dimensional, okay? So I know the radius of the sphere is 7, okay? And I know it fits exactly in, right? So what's the whole this way? We need the height of the cylinder, okay? So if it's a radius, it's 7 that way, it's 7 this way. What's the height of the cylinder? 14, right? Okay, so find the volume of the cylinder, okay? So the volume of the cylinder, right, it's got the same radius, the radius is 7. I've just figured out that the height is 14, right? Off you go to your log tables, get the formula for the volume of the cylinder. It's pi r squared h, and they said correct to the nearest whole number, so that means multiply the pi. So the volume equals pi, sorry, stupid. Right, pi multiplied by 7 squared multiplied by 14 into the calculator, press S to D and round it up to the nearest whole number. Answer, does anyone have an answer for me? 3,100, 2,155. Yeah, 55 cm cubed. I am, thank you. 2,155 cm cubed is the answer to that's part 1, right? Okay, so then part 2 says show that the total surface area of the sphere is equal to the curved surface area of the cylinder. So sphere, cylinder, okay, so you want to get the total surface area here, okay, over here you want to get the curved surface area. So the total surface area of a sphere, off you go to your log tables and get the formula. It's 4 pi r squared. The curved surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi rh. It's in the log tables also. So to show you get the same answer, so 4 multiplied by pi multiplied by 7 squared. Over here it's 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by the radius is 7, and that's 14. Okay, so put both of those into your calculator and you will should get the same answer. Do you get the same answer? You do, I think. Yeah? So it has 196 pi. Right, at this side, and when you do this you get 196 pi at that side. Whether you multiply the pi out or not doesn't matter, okay? Right, you'll still get the same answer at each side, so done. Okay, is that right? Okay, that was part 2. And part 3 is find the ratio. The volume of the sphere is to the volume of the cylinder. So volume of the sphere is to the volume of the cylinder. Okay, so off you go, you get the formula for the volume of the sphere. It's 4/3 pi r cubed, right, over is to the volume of the cylinder is pi r squared h, right? Okay, so there's a pi on each one, knock them off and then fill in what you can. So 4/3 multiplied by 7 cubed is here, right, is to, over this side it's 7 squared multiplied by the height, which is 14. Okay, so into the calculators with those. Does anyone tell me what you get at this side? 4/3 by 7 cubed. Cubed equals 1372 over 3. Right, and is to, sorry, it's not an equals, that's a ratio sign, is to the colon, right, over this side, 7 squared by 14, right, equals, delete, equals 686. Right, okay, now because I have a fraction at this side and a fraction at this side, get a common denominator. So put everything over 3. So 3 into 3 goes 1 multiplied by 1372. Over this side, I have 1 into 3 goes 3 times 3 multiplied by 386. I've evened everything up so I can drop the 3. So I get 1372 at this side, right, is to 3 multiplied by 686 at the other side is 2058. And can that be cancelled down? It probably can. So just put it in as a fraction into your calculator and see what comes out. So I'm 2058. So put it in as a fraction because ratios can be written as that is to that or that over that. Okay, equals 2:3. Okay, is that right? Are we okay? How did I get there? I got a common denominator. This one's over 3, this one's over 1. So 3 into 3 goes once, 1 multiplied by whatever is above the line. 1 into 3 goes 3 times, 3 multiplied by whatever is above the line. Because this one's over 3 and this one's not, so I put them both over 3. Right? Okay. Any other questions for me? Right, these are hard questions now I gave you. They're really hard, but these are they're kind of like exam questions, okay? Right, can I rub this out?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so I'm on to number 15 now. Am I doing number 15?
Yeah.
Right, okay. A sphere with radius of length 3, so a sphere, right, okay. And you may notice, girls, I draw these out, okay. Sometimes if you draw them out, it makes more sense than just reading words, okay. A sphere with radius length 3 has a volume equal to 8 times, so the volume of this, right, this is a sphere, so the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r squared, pi r cubed even. That's the formula for that volume of the sphere is equal to 8 times the volume of a sphere with radius length. So we have a smaller sphere, right, with radius length r. So it's equal to 8 times that. Okay, so this sphere over here is equal to 8 times the sphere over there. Is that okay? That's what they're telling me in the question. Right. Calculate r. I know this r, they told me this r is 3. So it's 4/3 pi times multiplied by pi multiplied by 3 to be cubed. Right, over this side, it's 8 multiplied by 4/3 multiplied by pi. We don't know this radius over here. This is what they want me to get. Okay? Suggestions. What's at each side that I can knock off? Pi. Is there anything else at each side that I can knock off? There's a 4/3, isn't there? So I can knock that off as well. Okay? So 3 cubed is 27. 3 by 3 by 3 is 27. Right? Okay? Is equal to... It said in the question, it says 8 times. A sphere with radius of length 3 has a volume equal to 8 times. So that means this sphere is equal to 8 of this sphere over here. Okay, is that right? Okay. Calculate r. Okay, so 27 equals 8r cubed. What I do now? Find r. How will I find r? Divide by, so if I just write that the other way, so I'm used to it, This is the way I normally, what I do first, divide by 8, yeah? So I get r cubed is equal to 27 divided by 8. If I do 27 divided by 8, I'll get 3.375. Now, how do I find out what number cubed will give me 3.375? Get the cubed root, isn't it? Which is over square root. It's shift and the square root button. So you get the cubed root of 3.375. So shift and the square root button, right? Okay, and you get 1.5. So r is equal to 1.5, and put a unit on it. Everything's in centimeters. Okay? Is that alright? Yes.
How do you know when you're going through something to do 3.375 instead of 3.37? Like the few decimal places.
I wouldn't round up until the end.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So always leave it to 3.
Yeah, always leave it. If there's, do you know, if it's a big long decimal, right, that comes out, right, maybe take 3 or 4 places of decimals. But that one had only 3 places of decimals, so I take them all.
Okay.
Okay, is that right?
Yeah.
So you always leave the rounding until the end. So if they say correct 2 places of decimals or whatever, always leave it until the end. So I'd always go 3 to 4 all the way down.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Are we any questions? Any more questions for me? Right. Okay. Right. Number 16. Am I doing it?
Yeah.
Right. So the height of a cylinder is equal to its diameter. So the diameter is equal to the height. What's the story though with the diameter? There's no formula with a diameter in it. There's formulas with heights in it, alright. But there's no formula with the diameter. Does anyone know how I write the diameter? The diameter is twice the what? Radius. So 2r is equal to h. Would you agree? Right, so the radius of this cylinder is r, right? But instead of writing h, what am I going to write? 2r, right? So the height is the same as twice the radius, okay? The curved surface area is, so the curved surface area is equal to 100 pi. So off you go to your log tables, get the formula for curved surface area. So it's 2 pi RH is equal to 100 pi. What I do now? Knock off the pi's, right?
Excuse me, please, Heather O'Connell and Holly Flanagan Fitzgerald to reception now. Thank you.
So instead of that H, what did I write instead of that H? 2R. Right? So it's 2 multiplied by R multiplied by H, they told me was the diameter, which is twice the radius. And my answer is 100. Okay? So multiply that. 2 by 2 is 4. R by R is R squared equals 100. What I do now? Divide by 4. So R squared equals 100 over 4. So that means R squared equals 25. So that means R is equal to 5. And that was in centimeters squared. So that means the radius is in centimeters. Okay? Is that alright? Anyone get that one right? No. They're really hard. Did you get it right? Fair play. Brilliant. Right, okay. I know they're really hard, girls, okay, but these are the types of questions you'll be getting. Okay? Right. And as I say, girls, I would draw it out. If it's not drawn out for me, I would draw it out, because I always think a picture makes more. I don't know how you think, but I think better in pictures than I do in words. Right? Okay, I'm a maths teacher. I hate words. So I'm always drawing myself diagrams. Okay? Right. Okay, next one. 17, I presume I'm doing it?
Yeah.
Right. So 17. When a solid sphere of radius 6 centimeters is dropped into a cylinder. Right, okay, so what we have is a cylinder. Right? There's a bit of water in the cylinder. Okay? So it's up to that level. So that's there already, it's up to that level, okay? Right, the next thing we do is we drop in a sphere, and when you drop in a sphere, what happens to the water level? It rises up, doesn't it? Right, okay, so the water level is going to rise, it was there, now it's gone up to here, right, okay? So basically, the sphere you put in, right, would be equal to the little mini cylinder that it rose up. Would you agree? So the extra volume you put in is equal to the volume that the cylinder rose up, the water rose up. So that's a little mini cylinder in there, isn't it? So the volume of this sphere that you put in, right, okay, which is 4/3 pi r cubed, that's the formula for the volume of the cylinder, right, is equal to the volume of this little mini cylinder, right, that rose up. Would you agree? So the extra volume you put in is equal to the rise in water, okay? Now they told me that the radius of this is 6, and they also told me, this, 16 centimeters. Well, I do have it, right, okay, because that's the radius. So this is 8 centimeters, and look, this is the question, what's the extra height that the volume rose up? Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Is that okay? So what I do here, knock off the pi's, right? So I have 4/3, and this is the radius of the sphere, which is 6. 4/3 multiplied by 6 to be cubed equals, over here I have 8 to be squared multiplied by h. I don't know h, I'm looking for it. Yes? The 6, they told me in the question that the radius of the sphere was 6. Is that right? No, keep asking the questions, because there's no point nodding and smiling if you haven't a clue. Right? Multiply these two numbers here, so it's 4/3 multiplied by 6 to be cubed equals, right, 288. So 288 over this side, 8 squared is 64 times h. How'll I find h? Say that again? Yeah, h is equal to 288 divided by 64. Divided by 64 equals 4.5. So h is equal to 4.5, and everything is in centimeters. So that says 4.5. Sorry, guys. 4.5. Is that okay? Are we okay with that? As I say, these are hard, so please, even if you can't do them, please make sure you understand how I do them. So if I do something you don't understand, stick up your hand and ask me. Right? Okay. Are we okay with number 17? I rub it off? Right. Number 18 is next. A wine glass is in the form of a hemisphere, right? Okay, so a hemisphere is up there. There's your glass. Don't worry about the stem, right? Okay, don't worry about that. That's no shape. We don't care. A wine glass is of radius 4 centimeters, so they tell me it's 4 centimeters. Okay. Find its volume in terms of pi. So it's a hemisphere. So remember, a hemisphere is not in the log tables, right? All that's in the log tables is a sphere, right? And they tell me a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. So what's a hemisphere, please? 2/3, half that. So half of 4/3 is 2/3. So the volume of a hemisphere is 2/3 pi r cubed. So fill in what you can. So it's 2/3 multiplied by pi multiplied by 4 to be cubed, right? And they said in terms of pi, so that's the first answer your calculator will give you. Multiplied by 2/3 equals 128/3 pi. And put a unit on it as well, cm cubed. Is that right?
Which take the normal sphere.
Yeah, if you do 4/3 multiplied by 4 to be cubed, and then divided by 2 at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll still get the same answer. Yeah. Okay. A full cylindrical container of wine is just sufficient to fill 21 of these glasses. So basically, you have 21 of these glasses. So what'll I do? 21 glasses. What'll I do? Multiply that by 21. So 128 over 3 pi multiplied by 21. So if you had 21 of these glasses, right, okay, multiply by 21 equals, you'd have 896 pi cm cubed of wine. Okay, so if you had 21 glasses, that's how much wine you'd have. And they'll tell you a full cylindrical cylinder, right, so they have a cylinder of wine, right, can fill 21 of these wine glasses. So that means the cylinder, the volume of the cylinder full of wine is the same as the volume of 21 glasses, right? So the volume of this cylinder is 896 pi. Is that okay? Then they tell me if the radius at the base is 8 centimeters, so the radius is 8, find its height. So we're looking for h. So after you go to your log tables, get the formula for the volume of the cylinder. So that's pi r squared, h is equal to 896 pi. What I do now? Knock off the pi's. There's a pi at each side. Knock it off. R squared is 8 squared multiplied by h equals 896. So over this side you do 8 squared, which is 64h equals 896. So that means h is equal to 896 over 64 divided by 64 equals 14. So h is equal to 14 centimeters. Is it centimeters? I presume it is. Meters full of wine? No. Centimeters. Is that okay? Right. Yes.
Say if I was in that question in exam and I got up to 128 over 3 pi, if I got up to that much range.
You're probably getting 4 out of 10. You pass the question. This is probably 4 out of 10. To get as far as here is probably 7 out of 10. And to finish it off is 10 out of 10. Right? Yes. Yes, Kyra. Yes. The radius, they told me the radius of the cylinder was 8. So instead of R, I put in 8. Is that okay? Right. Question? Say? Yeah. That's an easy question to answer. Right. Okay. Will I go on to number 19? Can I rub this off? Right. Number 19, so is next. Right. 9 solid spheres. Okay. So then I have 9 spheres. Okay. So I have 9 spheres. Each of radius 2. So there I am. 2 centimeters. Right. Are dropped into a cylinder partly filled with water. Right. So you stick 9 of those into your cylinder partly filled with water. Okay, so there's water in the cylinder already, and I drop in 9 spheres. Okay, I'm not drawing 9 of them. Right, okay, you drop in 9 spheres. What happens to the water level? It rises up. Okay, so it rises up and it makes a new little cylinder. So the rise makes a new cylinder. Okay, so just the rise of that little cylinder there, that red cylinder, that the volume of that is equal to the volume of 9 spheres. So, total increase in height. So the volume of that cylinder, of the red cylinder, is equal to the volume of the 9 spheres you dropped in. 9 spheres. Okay? So the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h, right, is equal to 9 multiplied by the volume of one sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay? So there's 9 of them. This is one sphere, but they said there's 9 of them. So there's a pi at each side, knock it off. Now this is the radius of the cylinder. Did they tell me the radius of the cylinder? Right. The radius, they told me the radius of the cylinder was 3. So that means 3 squared multiplied by height is the height that the water is risen by, right? That's what you're trying to find out. So that's equal to 9 multiplied by 4/3 multiplied by the radius of the sphere, which they told me was 2 to be cubed. Okay, so this is 3 squared is 9 by h is 9h. Over this side you need to multiply 9 multiplied by 4/3 multiplied by 2 cubed, right, equals 96, right? And then h is equal to 96 divided by 9, which is 32/3, and everything's in centimeters, is it? Yeah. Okay, now you can write that 32/3 is 10 2/3 or 10.666, whatever you want. Okay, is that alright? Are we okay? Right, and then number 20, am I good to go? Going, gone. Right, number 20 is next. 3 tennis balls, each of diameter 7. Right, okay, so I have 3 tennis balls on top of each other. Right, and they fit exactly into a cylinder. Okay? Right, so they fit exactly into a cylinder. Right, remember, each of diameter 7. So that means from here to here is 7, isn't it? And then here to here is 7. And from here to here is also 7. Right, what is the height of that cylinder? 21. Okay, let's look at the width of the radius of the cylinder now. From here to here is 7. That will be the diameter. What's the radius? 3.5. Okay, so the internal diameter is equal to the diameter of the tennis ball, and the height of the container is such that it will kind of move about. What fraction of the space within the container is occupied by the tennis balls? So what fraction of the space within the container is occupied by the tennis balls? Okay, what fraction of the space within? Right, let's get the volume of the tennis balls. Volume of the balls. Right, okay, so they're spheres. So one sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed, but there's 3 of them. Okay, is that right? So there's 3 of them. So that's 3 multiplied by 4/3 multiplied by pi multiplied by the radius cubed is 3.5 cubed. Right, into the calculator with that. 3.5 cubed, yeah, equals 107, or wait, no, I'll go back the other way. 343/2 pi. So that's the volume of 3 tennis balls. Is that alright? Now I want to know what I need, the volume of the full cylinder as well. So the volume of the cylinder is, so that's 3 balls. I haven't, sorry, 343/2, sorry. Right, the cylinder, the volume of the whole cylinder, right, okay, equals pi r squared h, which is pi multiplied by 3.5 squared, and I already said that the height of the cylinder is 21, right? So into the calculator with that, so that's 3.5 squared multiplied by 21 equals 1029/4 pi. and you have to make that a fraction of that. So it's 343 over 2 pi all over 1029 over 4 pi, right? So it's a fraction over a fraction, just put into the calculator, right? Okay,
Does it matter what side you put the pi on?
no. Okay, and when you sort all that out, you get 2/3. Is that right? Okay, just into that's just calculator work. Is that okay? Anyone got that one right? No. Not to worry, that's really hard. It was number 20 in the thing. Right, okay. Right, we have one more shape to do. Right, okay, and it's a cone. So, right, I'm not going to have to, I am. Right, because we're going to do straightforward cone. I'll tell you what, don't write down any notes, just listen to me and I'll put the notes up tomorrow, okay? So you all know what a cone is, cornetto, upside down, right? Okay, cone, you all know what a cone is? Right, so the volume of a cone, girls, is, there's a formula, it's 1/3 pi r squared h, okay? So r is the radius here, and h, girls, is the straight up height, okay? So the right angle height, straight up to the, from the middle of the circle at the bottom up to the point at the top. Is that right? Okay, and then you just fill in whatever it says, okay? So I'm going to just give you a few straightforward ones of those. You're just filling in that formula. Page 504, one, 2, 3, and 4. Now, girls, here they ask me for lots, but in number 3, just get me the volume only. In number 3, they ask you for curved surface area and the height and the slant height and whatever. I'll deal with all that tomorrow. Just get the volume only, right? So 1 is volume, 2 is volume, 3 just get the volume, and 4 is a working backwards one. Just have a go at it and see how you get on, okay? And I'll sort it all out tomorrow.